Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Eid Mubarak to all of you. So if we can have, there's some seats at the back there. Parents, if you want to sit, you're welcome to sit. If you want to stand up, it's okay to stand up as well. Perhaps burn extra calories standing up so that we can help finish the food that we have brought together. So inshallah, what we're going to do today, like previous Eids, we're going to run a bit of state of the house, what's happening at Qaswa for the past year and what we're planning for the future. And then the beating heart of Qaswa is our madrasa. How many students do we have now? We now have 342 students across all streams. 342 students with over 200 still on our waiting list. And this is 200 on the waiting list after we cleared them last December. Every December and January, our admin team led by Dr. Rahman and his wife Amanda, they will go through all the waiting lists and offer as many as possible so that we can get as many as possible into Qaswa within the limitation of our space and human resource. By the end of the year, usually what happens every single year is that we see the waiting list will go up to 400. What we have at the moment is that we offer students, we've only managed to offer those who got into our waiting list in 2023. So we still have 2024 and 2025. If you've got friends who tell you like, can you speak to me or my wife? Speak to Azizi or Sophia, can we get them in? If they just joined the waiting list last year, may take them a bit of time to get there. So that's what it is at the moment with our students. And if we look into the breakdown of our students, what we see is that Qaswa kids, 2 to 4 year old, that makes about 10% of our student population. And then we have Qaswa Prime, 58%, and high school, 32%. And looking at this chart, we've got a problem. From the 58%, around 30 students every year would graduate and go to high school. And we can only take around 20 high schoolers, new high school, every year maximum. We try and fit everyone. So those in year 6, don't worry, we're not going to take you out. We will make sure that you have a spot for Qaswa High. But that means no new Qaswa High intake. This year is the first year that we offered 0 spots for new students for Qaswa High. We could only offer those who are graduating from Prime, going to high school. And that creates another problem for us, because from our waiting list, more than 100 are high school students. And these are high school students that pretty much you can't go, there's not much opportunities for high school Islamic education in Perth. A lot of the centers offer primary school and they stop at primary school. Beyond primary school, there's nothing much. So, what can we do? We do feel a sense of responsibility, like how can we serve this community, this group of students that we think is really important, because high school is your formation years. You don't get your deen right. When you get to universities, we see a lot of problems. We see people generally when they leave their religion, it happens at university years. So this is what we're planning to do, Grounded Teens. Grounded Teens is a youth-only, high school-only programs for teens, but not for existing Qaswa students. Existing Qaswa students, you walk with us through the syllabus for 5 years. This one is only for 10 weeks, and we cover the foundational so that you know what to believe in, you know your aqidah, you know what to practice, and you know the basic characteristics of a good Muslim. And when we do our aqidah, we will discuss, this will be, basically if you have your children in Qaswa High, this is a condense of what we do within in 10 weeks. So if you've got friends who've been asking about high school, and we're going to email out the parents saying that we can't offer any spots, but this will run in term 3 of this year. And we plan to run Grounded Teens only once a year. So there will be 10 weeks once a year. Initially we thought of doing it in term 2, but looking at term 2 and timing, we had to push it to term 3. And Grounded Teens is part of the Grounded framework. What we've done is this past last year, half of last year, what we have put a lot of effort in is looking what we've done in the past 7 years since we started Qaswa. What worked, what didn't work, and put it up into a structured framework where we call it Grounded. And inshallah, we will be publishing a book. I'm in the midst of writing a book at the moment, looking at what we have been working with at Qaswa, calling it Grounded Daily, living your day with God. And then there will be online resources, and the online resources are already there. Even the book, I'm writing it online, and if you subscribe to Grounded, you can read as it is being published chapter by chapter. And online resources, you'll find the lectures that we do at Qaswa, from the Ramadan Tafsir to the Ratib and reminders and so on, is on Grounded. And also there will be courses and much more. So how do you access this? This is our website, grounded.day. So you can go to grounded.day, and all our resources regarding Grounded framework is there. Alright, now let's talk about the house, the Qaswa house. We moved into this new, we always use it new. It's actually not new anymore. We've been here for 5 years and a bit. We moved in. We actually got the keys to when we leased the. We signed the lease and got the keys 29th of Ramadan 2021. And so that makes it. This is 21 Ramadan, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So this is the 6th Eid that we have had the building. So we leased it that year, Ramadan of 2021, and Alhamdulillah, we purchased the building in 2023, August of 2023. We get this question, why am I talking about that we purchased the price? Because a lot of parents ask me, why aren't you purchasing a building and so on. So this is why I'm just making an official announcement. We purchased the building. Why didn't we hear about the purchase? If you didn't hear about the purchase, it's not your fault, because we did not do any public fundraising. There wasn't any public fundraising to purchase the building. From the very beginning, when we started Qaswa, my wife and I, we decided that we're not going to do public fundraising for our needs. We do fundraisers, and from time to time, yes, you'll find that we have done fundraisers before when it's emergency needs. For instance, when a lot of our aircons broke down one summer, if we were going to manage from our own cash flow, it's going to be a whole year before your children get aircon. Or another fundraiser that we just concluded December of last year. But when we started, even from the very beginning, for those of you who remember this house, we started with whatever we could afford from our savings. And this was the pretty much very run-down building. And that was the only one, we rented it for 500 a week. When we negotiated 450 a week for the first 6 months, and then 500 a week moving forward. The final year was 550 a week. So then we moved to this place in 2021, and in 2023 the property was put up on offer, and we thought, all right, let's purchase it. So how do we manage? How do we make the repayments? It's from your fees. So pretty much the fees that you pay help runs the whole system, the Qaswa kitchen, snacks that your children purchase. The Qaswa Carnival and so on help us run the system. We did another fundraiser last year because that was something that I think was urgent, the fence. Our fence is asbestos, and we then launched the project called Project Qourtyard to spruce up our backyard. We targeted to raise 25,000. We've raised that from all the sales that we did last year and the carnival. And Alhamdulillah, we've gotten all the quotations in January last year, but it was holiday season. So they gave us quotation, but January this year. January this year, the contractor gave us a quotation, but they said that we can't do it during the holiday season. You have to wait until holiday is over. By the time holiday is over, it was Ramadan, and now inshallah we'll get to it, and inshallah within a few months' time we'll have the new fence up. Another fundraiser that we did recently is Ramadan with Qaswa. The first fundraiser we did was Ramadan Camp Package with Muslim Women Support Center, and that was for the refugee families in Perth. We've been getting an influx of refugees coming from Syria last year, and MWSC is supporting 50 families. Alhamdulillah, what we see the program with MWSC, the amount of families that are being supported has reduced. Last year, if you remember, there was 120 families. But what MWSC did was they do training programs and certification. So the ladies that can cook, they get them certified to become with TAFE, so that they can start their own small business. Guide them on how to get their kitchen to be commercial kitchen. So now they do catering businesses and they are off the list. So we can help and serve the new families that have arrived. So this year, the target was $2,750 for the Ramadan care package. It was collaboration with other organizations. Qaswa was given the responsibility for the fun part, lollies, sweets, toys, and others. There are other organizations, more staple food, and so on. So this was amazing. We put up the announcement on the community WhatsApp group, and within 8 hours, we managed to meet the target of 2,750. The other one we did was this Ramadan and Eid with Qaswa. We raised $8,198, and that helped with our Taraweeh hall, our community iftar, and also our Eid park rental. For those of you who are not aware, for you to run events at the park, you actually have to rent, and parks actually cost more money than homes. For context, if we were to use Hillview, Hillview would be around $80, $88 for an Eid prayer. A park would be $600. So it's much more expensive. But then we couldn't fit everyone that came to our Eid prayers into Hillview. But the highlight of Ramadan, I hope the speaker works. If it doesn't, I'll move the mic around. But our highlight of Ramadan was this.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة
So those were the mu'adhins of Qaswa. What we did this year was that we wanted the young to participate actively with our prayers. So can I have the mu'adhins stand up? Idris, okay, yeah. So these are. Thank you very much. And our witir prayers were usually led by our high school students. Prayers, we didn't get any videos. So another thing that we did in Ramadan was tilawathon. So this tilawathon we started last year. Last year was for Gaza. So recite, raise, and reach. How this works is that student will read Quran and in Ramadan, look for sponsors to sponsor every minute that they recite. So if they go around and look for someone who will sponsor 10 cents every minute they recite, they log in how many hours or how many minutes they recite in Ramadan, and then that sponsor will donate to the cause that we that we support for that particular year. Alhamdulillah, because this Ramadan came early in the year, just right after the holiday, so we had very limited time to announce or to promote. We thought, let's have a modest target of $10,000. Can we raise $10,000 together for Sudan? And Alhamdulillah, our students did it, and they raised $10,124. And that's only 39 students participating. Imagine the power that we have as a community if everyone participated. Of all the 39, I'd just like to recognize some of the students, and we'll for the Tilawatan Award. These are students who actually raised more than $1,000 through their recitation in the month of Ramadan. They go around and they look for sponsors. It doesn't necessarily mean that they read a lot, although many of them do, but some of them strategize by looking for a lot of sponsors. Find 39 people to pledge 10 cents per minute. Then you get your whatever amount that you get. All right, so in order of amount, the first person I'd like to call out is Sakina. She raised $2,830. Stay here. Stay here. Yeah, right. Then Adam Azman. 1,830. Good job. Yeah, here you go. All right, standing next to Sakina. Okay. And then we have Ilyas Azman. 1,335. Good job. All right. Yeah.
Zayden is not.
Zayden is still holidaying in Malaysia. 1,100, Zayden Jafar. And then we have Salma Azizi. Good job. 1,050. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Lovely. Take photos of the. Yeah.
I think dia tertinggi dalam beg kan. Ada
Yes. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Now, the next award, Silver Tilawatan Award, for those who raise between $500 to $1,000, and we have 3 students. Number 1 is Zain Asfar. Good job, Zain. Yes. He's also one of our muadhin. And then Zahin Kalbaka. And finally, Nabil Kosmara. No, betul? Take photo with the Auntie Sultan. Thank you very much. I know I announced that we raised 10,124. That's from the kids. But there are other people from the community that came and joined the party. So in total, we raised $12,464, and the donation was channeled through Muslim Aid Australia, MAA International. Now we move on to our Eid party. Our Eid prayers. Eid prayers this year, alhamdulillah, we did it at Google Park, and we saw over 1,000 people attended our Eid in the park. And this is a significant increase from last year. Last year at prayer time we had 750 people. This time at prayer time we had 1,000 people. So we need to plan better for next year, perhaps a new venue if this trajectory continues. But alhamdulillah, it was so beautiful to see people, different colors, different ethnic, cultural background, beautiful clothing and so on, celebrating Eid together. Alright, now let's come back to madrasah. The beating heart of Qaswa. So if you know by now that with our madrasa, we do two things: it's Quran and Islamic studies. And with the Quran class, you divide it further into students who can read Quran and students who cannot read Quran yet, the Muqaddam classes. And with those who can read Quran, this is something that we started last year. We revamped the way we did our Quran classes. Instead of just reading random from Baqarah, we decided, let's break it down. We picked a surah of the term. So every term, the whole Quran classes across Quran 1, 2, 3 will recite the same surah. And then we break it down to ayat of the week. So they come on Saturday, they read the ayat of the week. And then on Tuesday, there is Tajweed Tuesday. And we post that online. So that learning continues beyond the madrasa walls. And on Thursday, we have Tafsir Thursdays based on the ayat that we have recited. So if you go through the whole program, you go Saturday, and then Tuesday and Thursday, you go through and then come back Saturday, you get new ayat, and then Tajweed rules, and then Tafsir. We post all this on Be Quranic, but Be Quranic now has been rebranded to just join whatever we do with Grounded. So it's the same website, grounded.day. If you want to, and this is open, even if you are you've got your students, your children in the Muqaddam classes, you're welcome to just join Grounded. No, but we've got a problem with Muqaddam. With Muqaddam, and we see this breakdown, Muqaddam 1, 2, 3. I know some of your students are in, your children are in Muqaddam 4 or 5. 4 or 5 are actually just ad hoc measures. We broke things because a lot of students get stuck at Muqaddam 3. Muqaddam 1 is easy. It's just introducing Arabic alphabet. Muqaddam 2, joining the letters together, Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma. And then Muqaddam 3, when serious learning happens, joining into words, into phrases, we get what we call, unfortunately, sometimes we address it as graveyard. Because children get there and they struggle to graduate. Because learning a new language, learning a new alphabet system is difficult. And when it comes to learning something new, if you grew up in Muslim majority country, there are a lot of things that we take for granted. It's in our surrounding. You switch on the TV, you go to the masjid. There's always something that familiarizes yourself with those alphabets. But you live in Australia, it's difficult. You don't see that often. And we know that consistency beats intensity. You cannot improve if you only have 40 minutes a week at madrasa and nothing happens at home. It is important that there is daily practice, 10 to 15 minutes every single day, and you'll see tremendous results. But we understand. I'm not here to blame the parents. We understand. Parents are overwhelmed. Life is difficult. We are busy. And sometimes, the Muqaddam is hidden somewhere in that back shelf and where is it? And so on and so forth. There's so many things that we have to deal with. So we've been thinking a lot since last year. What can we do? We've consulted a group of Muqaddam teachers, some of the Muqaddam teachers that are doing great, what worked and what doesn't work. We've meditated deep in the bush trying to find a solution. What can we do? And we thought, if you can't beat them, join them. Kids are on their devices anyway. Why not find an online solution? Why not find something that, books, you miss it, you lose it. I know some children, parents say, leave your Muqaddam books back in the car, because if you take it home, we don't know where it is, we can't find it. So practice becomes hard, but your device is always with you. So this is what we're introducing today, Qaswa Muqaddam. We probably should hold a contest later on to name that camel. Yeah, because this camel is going to teach you how to read Quran. So, for the past few weeks, this has been occupying me. My time mostly is designing and developing an app for our students. So this Qaswa Muqaddam, how is it different from existing apps in the market? Number one, it's an online revision app, and there's so many out there, Quran reading app online, that I understand. But where we differ is that this is tied into the class lessons. What you learn will be assigned as homework to you through the app. And we try to make it fun and interactive, and this is built in-house. And because it's built in-house, it's tied directly to our curriculum. The competition that happens within the app happens with students, that they know each other. It's my friend scoring this point and so on and so forth. All right, so without talking too much, let's look at the app. Bismillah. All right, so this is the login, and of course you need your email and password. Oops. All right, so if you are a parent with more than one child, you'll see your different children there. So I've got Salma who's doing pre-Quran, Sumaya, Muqaddam 1, sorry Sumaya, and Sakina doing Muqaddam 3. All right, so let's look at what Salma has. We log into Salma's account. So we have week 1, term 2 of week 1 lesson has been assigned to Salma. So let's look into this. These are the phrases, and if the children doesn't know what to read, play, and then the app will. All right. So at the moment, because there's no budget, it's built in-house, including the voice. It's my voice. We're trying to find a more commercial voice to record the reading later on. But you go through, and then, all right, you go through how many, whatever amount that we send, and then once the lesson is completed, we test you. So let's play a game, and let's look at the current week. Whatever that you have learned turns into a game. Match the sound. Which one is that? That's this one. All right. So the faster they answer, the more points they get. All right, so in this case, Salma, good job. You got 10 out of 10, perfect score, and 2,986 points. These points then goes into your leaderboard. So you get to see, as there are more students, you get to see your classmates. You can play the same game over and over again, so you keep on revising. And you also have your stars. So you collect your stars along the way as well. 3 stars in this context. The more you play, the more stars you collect. Inshallah, we will find a way to link the stars to Qaswa coins. So there is real currency that you can purchase in the kitchen. So there will be value to the stars. And we hope that this will help students practice more. When we run through the experiment with our test, with our test subjects, of course, my test subjects are limited to only 3 people because I only have 3 daughters. They seem to like it, and we'll see. And because this is built in-house, and it's, by the way, it's still beta. If you find any problem, just click report a bug, and we'll try and fix it together, inshallah. We also have a teacher area, so teachers. So with teachers, what we can see is this. We can see when did a student log, whether you do your practice or not, and what was your score, and so on. All right, so now that's what Muqaddam, Qaswa Muqaddam is. By the way, if you look at it, it's made with love by Qaswa Ventures. Who's Qaswa Ventures? Qaswa Ventures has always been the, it's not money making, the attempt to make money for the madrasa. That was the owner of Coffee and Dates. So our business ventures comes under Qaswa Ventures. While we're here, let me show you Class Dojo. This is another way that we communicate with parents, and parents, we appreciate that if you, I haven't logged in.
What?
Hang on, which one is it? I think this one. Ah. So, Class Dojo for parents, if you log in, and we hope that you're all on Class Dojo and we check it out. What we do is teachers would actually summarize what they do in class, and Ustaz Abi will actually summarize what we do in the madrasa for the week. So you get to follow what's happening in the madrasa, and we hope that the discussion continues at dinner tables. It's not just stuck at the four walls of the madrasa. 2 hours a week is not much actually to do Islamic studies. All right, so back to, that's our Muqaddam. So now, children, you can practice in the car, anywhere, as long as you have your devices. And Qaswa Muqaddam at the moment, we're beta testing it, and the public beta for parents will be rolling out next week. So you will get an email if you have children in Muqaddam 3 and 4 and 5 to join the Qaswa Muqaddam app. Look out for your email. All right. So that's Islamic. Now moving on to Islamic studies, we do Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. What to do, what to believe in, then good character of a Muslim. But then we've got one problem with Islamic studies. No matter how much we try to shoehorn this important subject, we cannot do justice to it because of limitation of time, which is Seerah. I think many of you, if you've been with us for few years, you notice that our study of Seerah has been very minimal. We've got the library. We encourage parents and children to come and borrow books from the library, but not everybody would come, and also books are limited. We only have slightly over 1,000 titles in the madrasa, and then Seerah books probably 2 or 3, and then if you borrow them, and so on. So, coming term 2, we're going to introduce Seerah Nights. Seerah Night is going to happen every Tuesday, every second Saturday of the month. So it will be from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. and dinner will be served for primary school students, year 1 to year 6. We'll have a few groups. We're going to just, when the weather is nice, have a bonfire at the back, have some fire at the back. People can listen to the story around the fire, roast marshmallow. But it will be a structured study of the Seerah every month, once a month in every second Saturday. And it starts on the 9th of May, which is going to be in term 2. So the second Saturday of May. And it will require registration, and inshallah registration will open soon. We will announce that in the in our WhatsApp community group. One last thing. When we did a survey of our community, we found that Qaswa family is made up of 29 different cultures. 29 different countries actually make up the Qaswa family. And we realized that this is a golden opportunity. What we want to do is, we want to collect Qaswa family stories. How was Eid and Ramadan and Eid when you were growing up? Parents, when you were young, how was Ramadan like? And how was Eid like? And if there are photos that you'd like to share. So, what we do is that we collect the stories at qaswa.house. And I'll share with you. I'll share with you the stories at Qaswa.house. So you have, if you want to share your stories, your name, your country, and so on, you can either type it, names I expect you would type, but things like how would you describe the Muslim community? You don't want to type, you can record an audio or upload an audio, and then next and so on. You can either type it in or record your story. And finally, share any photos. Don't worry, we won't be publishing those photos. What we do with the photos is that it gives our illustrators ideas on what to design and how your dress looked like when you were growing and how the celebration would look like. So it would be amazing to have our own Qaswa family, Ramadan and Eid. Ramadan from all around the world, just within the Qaswa family. All right, so that's all. I understand there's a lot for you to actually remember. So summarize. Grounded, subscribe, Qaswa Muqaddam, coming soon. Watch your email. Seerah Night. Wait for it in the WhatsApp community WhatsApp group. We'll announce that. Still too many things to remember. Don't worry. If you forget, just go to our website, qaswa.house/parents. Everything will be there. All right. So before we end, I just want to thank all the crew that has made Qaswa possible throughout the year. It is impossible for the madrasa to run. So if the crew can stand up, please just the madrasa crew, the kitchen crew, special task and operation groups, which is led by Al-Malik Faisal, Brother Faisal. Thank you very much to all of you. May Allah reward all of you. And that is the state of the house.